Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is Grace Collingwood. I'm a wife, a mother, a registered nurse, and the CEO of Healthy Wealthy Mama. You can always get some more information about me at my website, gracecollingwood.com. All right, today I'm going to talk about 4 creative ways to switch up cooking. 4 creative ways to switch up cooking or to make cooking better. Okay, 4 creative ways to make cooking better. All right. So, as I share this, please do your very best and also share it with your friends, share it with your loved ones, share it with everybody you know, and just make sure that you're commenting, putting up some hearts, some lights. Let's boost this video. Let's boost this live video so that people will get to know about these wonderful tips. All right. So I'm sharing right now. And as you also share, please do me a favor and comment what country you're watching from. Okay. Please comment what country you're watching from. So today I'm going to talk about 4 creative ways to switch up cooking or 4 creative ways to make cooking better. All right. So if you don't know who I am, please go to my website. It's right there on the screen, gracecollingwood.com. Don't forget the G and the E. People miss those 2 letters. They're very important. If you miss them, you will not find me. gracecollingwood.com. All right. So as I was saying, these are tips to help you so that you can improve or make your cooking better or make your food that you're eating better. Number one is bake, grill, um, or steam your food instead of frying. I've seen, well, I come from a culture of frying everything. I see people fry cucumber, fry carrots, fry everything, fry peas, fry plantain, fry everything possible. But today I'm teaching you the healthy way to eat. Your best way to switch up your cooking is to grill, to bake, and to steam your food. Okay. So all those fried rice, definitely you're putting some oil in it and frying the rice. Okay. If you can eat your rice more steamed with more just water, you're better off. If you're cooking the rice and you want to add a little bit of oil, you can add olive oil to it. Olive oil doesn't need a high temp when you're cooking. I've seen people also use olive oil to fry. That's the most dangerous thing you could ever do. Don't ever use olive oil to fry. Never, ever, ever. That's the worst thing you could ever do. If you need to even fry anything, which I don't um, support, but even if you have to fry something, make sure it's any kind of oil that becomes solid at room temperature, like coconut oil, like palm oil. Palm oil has very high saturated fat, by the way, but for the fact that it becomes solid, it becomes hard at room temperature. You're better off using that to fry things than using olive oil. Olive oil is healthy, but you have to eat it raw or at room temperature. Never ever high heat olive oil is the worst cancer that you can put in your body. I've seen people buy big bottles of olive oil and that's what they cook with, and they're frying everything with olive oil, and they don't understand why they're still ill. Don't ever, if you've never heard anybody say it, don't, I'm saying it today to you, don't ever use olive oil to fry anything, okay? Thanks, Mondupe, for joining me. You said coconut oil. All right. Yeah. Coconut oil, the anything that's hard at room temperature, the two oils I can think of right away coconut oil and palm nut oil. If you have any other oils in mind, you can put in the chat. Any other oils that get hard at room temperature. And I think Peanut butter oil. Peanut oil also. No, I think even that doesn't really settle. It doesn't become hard. These are the two I know: the palm oil and coconut oil, as well as, oh, shea butter. Shea butter, people cook with shea butter. Shea butter gets hard under room temperature. You can use that to fry. I don't i don't promote frying, but if you ever want to fry, use these oils. Okay, you're better off using those oils. Avocado oil is almost like, uh, what's it called, almost like olive oil kind of. I haven't really looked into avocado oil, how really bad it is to heat it at a high temperature like olive oil would do. I know olive oil will seriously cause some cancers, but olive oil, maybe olive oil will be in the category of um canola oil, and those are the oils that you can actually use for anything. But if you're really using it for very high heat, something that you really need to fry, like deep frying, go for hard, or oils that are that gets hard on room temperature. Canola oil, you can use that for stew, you can use that for maybe frying eggs, and because you're not really, it's not extremely high heat like you're doing a deep fry. So if you're doing a deep fry, then I would suggest that you go with an oil that turns hard at room temperature. If not, then you can use canola oil, or maybe, or um what's it called, avocado oil. But like I said, I haven't really looked so much into avocado oil as to whether it's really extremely, totally don't do at all kind of thing. Like olive oil, you can never ever you know heat up olive oil. Even the smell, no, don't even go there. It's the worst oil you could ever. Is the healthiest, but it can turn the most deadliest if you don't do it right. Okay, so um my suggestion is for you to always bake, whether it's chicken or it's meat, whatever. Bake, grill, or steam your foods. Okay, whether it's chicken, you can just steam your chicken, put it in the fridge. My mom used to do that a lot. She would just steam chicken, it's in the fridge. If you need it, you can grab one and eat it. And also roast or grill your chicken. Okay, put it in the oven. These days we even have air fryers. I love air fryers so much, and I hadn't really paid attention until about 2 years ago, when my son David, who knows how to cook, my 16-year-old cooks big time, and he's been cooking for years. It was Christmas, and he said we need to buy an air fryer. And I was like, "What's an air fryer?" And then when I bought it for Christmas, and then we started using it, I was like, "Whoa!" So you just season your chicken, you do whatever seasonings, you put it in the fridge. The next day, all you do is you just take them out, put it in the air fryer, and it's done. You're doing whatever you're doing. You set the timer on. It's the best. You finish, you wash it. It's not like the oven that, and the electricity that it takes is not as much, is not compared to using a whole big oven, right? And most of the time it's not that much. I mean, if you're doing it for a large number of people, then you might need the oven. But if it's just for your family, a small family, then an air fryer is your best option. All right, let me pause and check who's on here. I see Yampon. So thank you so much for joining me. I see Nanakusia. Yay, Coach Nana. I see my sister Nanaya Dufie. Hello, Sister Dufie. How are you? Great to see you. You said I use it all the time. Which one do you use all the time? I'm not sure which one you're referring to. But anyway, yeah. So first of the four is bake, grill, or steam your foods instead of frying. Make sure that you use the air fryer to do it. It's cheap. Walmart sells it. You can get it. Um, how safe is air fryer? Is just it has these coils inside the machine. I've seen several ones. I think there are ones that has an infrared heat in it. That one I haven't really researched into it, but the one I use is like an ordinary stove, but it just has air that's blowing in it so that the heat is circulating in the space. So I don't know if the one you're referring to, Nanakusia, is the infrared one. The infrared, I really haven't done so much research into it to know if if it's safe to eat or if it's cancer causing. I haven't. I mean, just the infrared alone just puts me off. But the one I use has some coils like a stove, so it heats up and there's air that just circulates inside. So maybe if you want to buy one, you can look at the difference and just buy the one that's like a stove, but it's just air just circulating the heat inside. And there's space that also pulls out the steam so that by the time you're done, and make sure you don't really like overcook it. All my air fried, all my chickens, whatever chicken I do, I never ever make it so hard because it's too much on your stomach. Your stomach has to process it. You have to think about how your stomach is able to process it. Your stomach is a muscle. So if you're eating really hard stuff and you're not really, even chicken, make sure you're not really, um, over drying it. It becomes so hard and it becomes so chewy, you know try as much as possible, and that's why I don't even eat meat anymore. Eat meat alone, it's just too hard for me, too thick for me, and especially when people roast it like kebab. Oh my goodness, the moment I see that meat, my stomach starts hurting because it looks so hard to me, and I feel like I have to chew, and then I'll drink lots and lots of water so that my stomach is able to digest it. If you're somebody that just chew meat and you're walking around, no, no, no. Drink some water so that your stomach will be able to process it. Nana Diffuse says air fryer. I mean, oh, okay. Oh yeah, air fryer is the best. Since we got an air fryer, I mean, I've always loved it. Thanks, Pastor Barbara. I really appreciate you for being here. All right. So point number 2, use fat-free or low-fat sources. Use fat-free or low-fat sources. All right. So sauce. I don't like sauce. I mean, girl, I'm a Bono lady from Brekum. We eat fufu with okra on it. So this sauce thing, I don't like potatoes, I don't like this, I don't like that. I eat my food. That's why my coaching works with people. You can't come and tell me to stop eating what I'm eating to go eat some keto diet. It will not work. I am a Bono lady, big time. So um sauces, I'm not used to it. Ranch, first time I tried it, it tasted like, I won't even say it. I can't stand the smell. And I think at some time I'm pregnant, I throw up from day one till the day the baby arrived. All my 3 children. I have serious vomiting issues with all my 3 children and big time dehydration. I'm always sick. And I think, well, at one point I used ranch during those very sickening times, and oh my goodness, it just puts me off. Even when I see it lying around, I just remember how I felt at the time. So ranch just puts me off. But ranch is one of the low fat sauces. So if you're somebody that really loves sauces, if you want to add sauce to your potato chips, sauce to whatever, ranch is one of the sauces that has low calorie, all right, or low fat. There's also chili. I love my chili sauce. Okay, yeah, I have to have chili in my soup. But with my jollof, I will cook the jollof with chili already, because those chili that you keep pouring on, it just messes up the whole flavor of your food, right? You only put it on if you feel like, oh, this food doesn't really taste nice and you just want some heat to just cover up the flavor. But if it really tastes nice, there's no point adding any chili sauce to it. Just enjoy the taste of that food. All right. So the next point is number 3: top off cereal with fresh fruit. If you're somebody that's a cereal person, always add fruit to your food. If you're somebody that eats in the morning, the culture I come from, we really don't necessarily eat in the morning. But do you know one thing I've realized? That's what we say. Oh, I'm not really a morning person. But honestly, do you actually wait till 12 to eat? No. You'd find this bread sitting there, you grab it, you eat it. You open the fridge, you find this drink there, you drink it. You do that before 12. We actually eat something before 12 o'clock. All right. So that's just a saying. Usually, when I'm telling people, hey, we're doing with the weight loss program that when you're with me, or when I'm coaching you with my weight loss product, we have to do intermittent fasting, and it's you're not eating anything after 8 p.m. and the first smoothie you're going to drink is going to be at 12. They're like, oh, well, for me, I don't really even eat in the morning anyway, so it's not a big deal. And then in 2 days' time, they're like, oh, it's hard. I, I'm like, yeah, I know why. Because we think we don't really eat in the morning, but we actually do. We actually do. We actually just grab this here and this there, and we eat here, we eat there. And we don't realize that just not sitting down to eat doesn't mean that we have not eaten. We usually eat something. But if you're somebody that really would sit down and eat breakfast and you eat cereal, make sure that you're adding some fruit to it, some strawberries to it, some banana. Banana is universal. You can get banana everywhere. It's easy to get. I know it's easy to get in Ghana. It's easy to get in the Western world. It's easy to get in Asia. Everywhere, banana is an easy fruit to get. If you don't get another option of the fruit, make sure that in your country, is it mangoes, is it watermelon, is it pineapple, make sure, excuse me, you get those. But be very, very careful with fruits. Very high sugar, doesn't matter whether it's natural sugar or bleached sugar, or like pure white sugar. That people don't eat pure white sugar, but the fruits that they're eating is even higher in calories than the pure white sugar that they've stopped eating. You have to be very careful with the fruit that you're eating, how much you're eating. You can't just, especially if you're diabetic, you can't just grab a whole big bowl of strawberries and sit down and eat, or a whole two bananas. No, that's too much sugar. That's too much sugar at a sitting. So if you really want to eat very healthy and you want to add some fruits to it, max strawberry 3 4, max 4. Banana, if you can, the big ones, if possible, just cut half of it. Don't eat the whole. It's so high in sugar. If you're doing fruits, be very, very careful. All right, be very, very careful. Or if you're somebody that's bought all these products out there, that the capsules that have fruits and whatever, be very, very careful with the fruit capsules, because it can spike up your blood sugar. There was a lady that I was coaching at one point, and she said somebody sold her some, I'm not going to mention the company's name, but some products, which is in capsule. And the person said, oh, the fruit one, you have to take 2 in the morning, 2 in the night, and whatever. And this lady ended up in emergency with a blood sugar of over 600. Like the serious, if she had not rushed to the emergency, this woman could have fallen into coma, just because somebody, especially somebody who's just selling all these products because of network marketing, because of what they can get, because they get commissions, because when they sell it, they get money. Know who you're following. You can't just go around and buy, weight loss tea from this person that has no idea, has nothing in the health field, and is selling them. Okay. Or somebody who has never really used it, because I know some coaches who really have never had a background in the health field, but are really learned. They are very knowledgeable about the products that they sell. Some have no idea about the products that they sell. And this lady almost died. So I was telling her, I said, listen, that's what I'm trying to teach people. When you're buying something, you better, if you just love the person's charisma, and you know that the person doesn't have a background in health, just make sure that you know the person enough, or the person has been in that business long enough, with followers enough, to be able to trust that person. But if the person doesn't have any background in health, and they just started the business, and all of a sudden they want you to, I mean, if they have a mentor that can also direct you. I'm trying to be very mindful of the words that I'm using, because I know in the company that I work with, the products that I use, there's so many of them who don't really have a health background, but they are so knowledgeable about what they're doing, about the products, about what to use, about different diseases, and which products that they have to use to help them stay fit. So I'm being very mindful of my choice of words. So or people, or somebody who has actually used the product, even if the person has a healthcare background and they've never used the product, they have no experience with the product, run. Okay, run. All right. They have to have some form of experience. For me, I have to take the multivitamins. I really don't need to lose weight, but there's so many parts of the business or the products that I still have to use to maintain my weight. The multivitamin, the detox tea, because I need to still detox, because the foods that we eat have hormones and chemicals in it. I still take my NRG, my energy supplement, because I work night shift and it's busy. You're walking for 12 hours. You need the energy. By 3 a.m., your body is just like, you just want to sleep, but you need to stay awake. You need to stay awake, because that patient's heart can stop at any time. You have to stay awake. So I take the NRG supplements, and yeah. So the point I'm making is, make sure that if you're taking fruits, you're being very mindful of how much fruits you're taking. And in my coaching, the best way to take tons of fruits is the infused water. You put your fruits in water, you drink the water, it's diluted, the sugar level content is not as high as eating the fruit raw. You're getting the nutrients in that particular fruit. You're safe, you're hydrating yourself, you're increasing in metabolism, and water also burns fat. Believe it or not, water burns fat. So the best way to get your fruits into your system is your infused water. All right. So, like I said, if you need more information about what I do, go to gracecollingwood.com. Don't forget the G, don't forget the E in the spelling, because people mess that out. Grace Collingwood. All right. Let me read certain. Okay. Let's see who's joined. Hey, God, Jacinta, thanks for joining us. Now, because Nanaya diffuses, I use it all the time. Nanakushi says, house safe. Oh, I think I've answered that. Thank you. Thanks, Bridget Yadam, for joining us. All right. So the next point is, oh yeah, this is Florida. It's in some states it's still snowing, and over here it's so hot that and insects are like flying and biting so bad. Anyway, the fourth point is, cook an extra serving of protein and put it on your salad. Okay, so these are points that I'm sharing with you. These 4 points are things that I'm sharing with you to sort of, improve in the food that you're eating. I'm not asking you to eat anything different. It's what you're eating. And I'm just saying that how about do it this way? Because that's going to be a healthier option. So cook an extra 7 of protein and put it on your salad. All right. So every time I love to chew salad, man, even though I'm a Bono lady and most of our foods are swallow, fufu, swallow with the okra soup, man, it slides down your throat. I still love to chew something. Salad, I love to chew, 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 chew. But even with the chewing, I have to have some protein in there. I have to see something in there. But I'm very selective with what has to be in there. Yesterday I was watching a video and all I was saying was that, wow, this food looks so healthy. So she made white rice and cut so many carrots, poured it in. She was making like homemade fried rice, right? So many onion, the onion leaves. I think that's what it's called, scallions. She cut so many of them, put it in. She added so many vegetables. I was so happy, and all of a sudden, I saw her add uh, a lot of salt first off on it, and then she poured soy sauce. With fried rice you have to have your soy sauce, and if you've watched my videos, I've always mentioned about soy sauce, the amount of salt that's in soy sauce, that if you're using soy sauce, never ever use salt. Never ever use salt if you're using soy sauce. The amount of salt in that thing is enough to give you heart palpitations. Even the one that says low sodium soy sauce, last time during my masterclass, I teach my coaching clients regarding how to detect certain words that marketers use for you to think that, oh, this is a better option, or this is a really good option. No, when it says low sodium, it means what's the original. The original soy sauce, the sodium or salt in it is like 42%. The low sodium one is 21%. So it's just half of the salt. But how much salt do you even have to have in something? That's another thing that I teach during my masterclass. Okay, so I teach about reading food labels, getting to know the calories, getting to know the percentages. When it says 5% sodium, when it says 5% saturated fat, every food label has to have less than 5% of sodium, or less than 5% of saturated fat or cholesterol, less than 5% of what else? All these not so good kinds of things. But everything else, like vitamin A, vitamin C in that food, they all have to be more than 5%. So coming back to the soy sauce, now you've bought a soy sauce that says low sodium, and to you, that's the best. So this lady, looking at the video, it wasn't even the low sodium type. She poured a lot of salt on, and it was crystal salt. Don't ever do that. If you ever want to put salt in your food, put it in with some water. Let water melt it, okay? So that it can go inside the foods. If it's salt crystals and you're adding it to food, it stays crystallized. And when it gets into your blood, into your system, its density, or its potency is so high compared to if it's mixed with water. Water dilutes it. Okay, so first off, this lady had so many really wonderful veggies and beautiful cook. And then all of a sudden, I saw her sprinkle lots of salt on it, and then she poured the soy sauce on it, extra salt, and then to top it up, she added shrimps. and she also added eggs. Like it was a small bowl that she was, I mean, small saucepan that she was making it in, and about 4 eggs already very high saturated fat, very high cholesterol, and the shrimps very high cholesterol. So even though this food, when sitting there, when you look at it, it looks very healthy. Me looking at it, knowing all the sources of things that are in there, the first thing I saw were two things: high cholesterol, high blood pressure. High cholesterol, high blood pressure. Whoever eats that food, if they have high blood pressure, they don't understand why. They are doing their best to lose weight, or they are doing their best to get off the medications, but every time they go to the doctor's office, the doctor keeps increasing their medications, and they are on about 3 or 4 heart medications, and they don't understand why. And then they start blaming the doctors. Well, doctors are wicked. They don't tell you the right thing. They get some commissions on these medications. No doctor gets any commission on your uh, medication that you pay how much for? What, $3 co-payment? No doctor gets any no. So if you're really being mindful of all these points that I'm making, you get to know that it's actually you having a certain level of knowledge about what you're putting in your body before you can be taken off those medications. Because if you keep going to your doctor's office and those blood pressures keep staying high, they will continue to increase your dose. Legally, they will get in trouble if your blood pressure is so high and they are not giving you any prescribed medication. So if you want that to stop, you have to get to know all these tricks that I'm teaching, which is way less than what I'll do during my coaching. If you want more information, you can go to my gracecollingwood.com, schedule a free 30-minute call. We'll talk. I'll see how I can help you. All right. So I see Bridget Yadom here, Nia Kosi, Irene Winifred, my sister Hannah Jaman is here, Dorothy Astamia. Thank you guys for joining me. So just make sure that you go to my website, gracecollingwood.com. Don't forget the G, don't forget the E, because people miss those. Please go there, schedule a call, let's talk. I'll see how I can help you, and we'll take it from there. If you just joined and we are done, please watch the replay, and I love you all. Bye-bye now.